So tell me about your friendship with Jessica.
I mean, it was good. It was more than good. I considered her a best friend.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Okay, what can I do for you today, sir?
How long have you been with us, Dylan?
About a year.
And you're still in training, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
And in that time, how many people have you saved?
Saved? What do you mean by saved, exactly?
You know what I mean. You know, seizures, overdoses, and cardiac arrest. There have been strange occurrences in the city. So I'll ask you again, how many have you saved?
Well,
0. That's how many.
I don't understand, sir. Have I done something wrong?
You know Jessica Williams, don't you?
What?
Do you know Jessica Williams, yes or no?
Yes, of course I know Jessica.
You work together some shifts, correct?
Sometimes.
Well, we will launch an investigation into this, and if we don't see an improvement within 2 weeks, Jessica will replace you. Goodbye, Dylan.
So why do we have CCTV of you entering her house on the day she went missing and your fingerprints on the banister?
I left my wallet. I went over to get it. Doctor?
Oh, hello guys. Just been listening to a new band I found. They're brilliant.
Oh, Doctor, how I've missed you.
Anyway, what's been happening? What have you been up to recently?
Not an awful lot, but tell you what, I'm really excited for our latest stint in time and space. You're going to love it. So, where we're going is just brilliant. Vamos! Right, so, where would you guys like to go first?
Well, we've really enjoyed some of the adventures you've taken us on, but maybe try doing something less frightening, more closer to home.
Yeah, maybe we could see like our parents when they were growing up. Obviously, like trying not to disturb their timeline and all.
Well, when my parents were at work, my grandma used to look after me. She would talk about her time in the war, but wouldn't really go into detail about it. She'd never really discuss our work, probably to text 8-year-old me.
Right then, World War II time it is.
Actually, it would be really great if we could see like, paramedics back then. See the kind of experience and conditions they were in.
Now, I must warn you guys, things during World War II were not a pleasant sight. People had to make many sacrifices, and you might just realise how privileged your lives in the 21st century really are. See, they were so close to throwing in the towel so many times, but instead they just persevered and they made some incredible technological contributions to humanity as a whole. So, Isabella, where did your grandma work?
She was a wren at Bletchley Park. She said her war work was still secret and said little to me and my parents about it. She did say that she helped the Navy know German submarine positions.
Ooh, she probably worked with Alan Turing then. Brilliant guy.
Who's Alan Turing?
Who's Alan Turing? Come on, Dylan. Alan Turing's the most famous codebreaker who ever lived. You must have seen The Imitation Game, the film. See, Isabella, I reckon your grandma was probably one of the thousands of wrens whose job it was to help Alan Turing. See, what she would have done is she would have taken in the original Morse code messages and she would have sorted them and sent them to the right departments. In fact, the wrens were known as the computers because they computed the messages. See, Alan Turing, he essentially mechanized the process and he cracked the Enigma code.
I'm not really into computers.
Not into computers. Look at your smartphone. Every time you touch the screen, every time you get a call, whenever you take a photo, is that not a series of interconnected computers? If it wasn't for Alan Turing, the modern smartphone as we know it might not even have existed. Now, let's go back to 1937. I found him incredibly advanced. If you read his paper on computable numbers, it reads more like an engineering thesis than a mathematical thesis, almost like an instruction guide on how to build a computer. It's incredible stuff.
We're approaching Cambridge University.
You guys go look in the mirror and take off any modern clothes. We don't want to freak out anyone from 1936. Anything like smartphones, digital watches, doesn't really fit in the time. Oh, and Dylan, no earrings.
What? Why?
Well, it is the mid-1930s. And they're not too comfortable with the whole homosexuality thing, and we wouldn't want anyone being arrested. See, people had to pretend to be extra macho and manly back then, so no one would accuse them of being gay.
Well, my shirt's gonna stand out like a pansy in a row, please.
Doctor, I found a discreet place for us to land.
Well then, let's go. Vamos!
Doctor, what does this word say here?
Entscheidings problem. For the past 2,000 years, human philosophers have debated the fundamentals of nature that govern pure mathematics, and by 1937 their efforts had crystallised in the form of Entscheidings problem, a sort of liar's paradox. A liar's paradox, a bit like if I were to write down this piece of paper, everything on this piece of paper is a lie, and then to give it to you, well, you know that's not the case. Because that's all that's written on the paper, it must be the truth. It's simultaneously the truth and a lie. It's a paradox, a liar's paradox.
I can feel a nap approaching.
They make a film about this. I feel like I've seen a film. I can't remember the name of it though.
The mathematicians, they knew that in order to be logical, they would have to be able to understand Entscheidings problem.
Gentlemen, may I bring this symposium to order? I see we have some guests joining us at the back. Welcome to King's College. Are you perhaps Princeton? Oxford? Gentlemen?
Some of us, yes, and we are not all gentlemen.
Alan, I was quite delighted to be able to solve the Entscheidings problem by developing these theoretical automatic machines. And you also proved that these machines cannot be produced because they'll need to run in yet a circular and non-circular motion, which is in fact theoretically impossible.
What made you come up with the idea of automatic machines instead of going down a more traditional mathematical route?
That method has been tried for many years and has failed. In part of the paper, you describe the instructions the A machine would use. Does this make the paper more like an engineer's drawing or specification than a theoretical mathematics paper?
I hope one day to make a machine that could be programmed to perform mathematical calculations. When I return to America, I have been asked to start work on an electronic multiplier. Present technology will probably necessitate a special purpose machine, rather than a universal computer machine like the A machines.
I don't think it was a film. You know, it must have been a TV show. Well, if it was a TV show, I'm pretty...
If someone finds a way to build an expensive A machine, what practicable use could it be put to, if any?
In principle, the A machine can be much quicker than a human computer.
It could even be used to replace the latest computer, you know, who did the work for the log tables.
That's it! These robots, they were defeated in a Star Trek episode. You see, the robots, they got into this repeating loop, they froze, which allowed the humans to escape. I mean...
Professor, I have heard college referring to Alan's A machines as Turing machines. Do you think this should be made the official name for them?
Doctor, are you telling me he did all this while my granddad was still a child?
Yes, Dylan, try to keep up.
Yes, I remember. Yes, I heard you were the tail of Blue the Bone.
He's a bit of an odd fella, isn't he, Doc?
Oh, Dylan, not sure if you're aware of this, but Alan Turing was gay. That's why he found it so hard to integrate with his peers.
Sorry, I didn't realise. Anyway, thanks, Doctor, for showing us those medics at work during that small bombing raid and the helping of that wounded soldier. It's probably for the best you stayed in the TARDIS, Isabella.
Yeah. So, Isabella, would you like to see the Women's Land Army at work? Unfortunately, the Wrens are under such high security that us showing up there will cause a bit of a commotion. First, let's go to 1945. The war's almost over and Alan Turing's Enigma machine and his Wrens have solved enough of the code to ensure a timely victory. Now, he's been over in America working on scrambler phones recently, but I reckon we can intercept him on the way home. See, the TARDIS has just detected him and he should be on the next train coming into that platform just out there.
Yep, the time matches the suggested 1822. Excellent.
We are approaching the London Southwestern Railway Station. Ready to materialise, no people within 200 metres.
There we are. Materialised. Wait a minute. Hang on, that's not right.
Doctor, what's wrong?
That doesn't make any sense. Some kind of advanced technology on the train with Turing. That shouldn't be right, especially not here, not now. I think we should be careful when we go out there.
Great.
What sort of
advanced technology.
You sure the TARDIS isn't just confused?
Dylan, the TARDIS is always right. It might just be disguised. I reckon it's probably some kind of metallic creature.
Oh, I've missed this.
They say to never meet your heroes, but to hell with it.
Excuse me, sorry, but you seem familiar. You one of the students who attended my symposiums back in Kings?
Yes, in 37.
Ah, I thought so. How funny, we were fellow symposiasts. Also funny how none of you look a day older, and you also seem to be wearing the same mustard-coloured shirt under your coat.
Yeah, that's because I'm like 3 days older.
Good one, Isabella. Yes, we are the group of students who attended your symposium on computable numbers. And what a coincidence we should find a wartime train with 5 empty seats in the same cabin. Amazing.
Mr. Turing, have you seen anyone walking around a bit mechanically?
Well, there are a number of wounded sailors on the train, but even the train guide himself is sort of a robot in his gait.
The guard. What did he look like?
Well, I don't know, his face was obscured with bandages or a turban, and I don't like to stare, I find it most provoking.
Mr. Turing, have you been able to carry on with your computable numbers?
I've been terribly busy with ball work, I haven't had time for deep thought in years. Why, did you find an error in my paper, or did it enable you to think in new ways?
No, I didn't find any errors, Mr. Turing, sir.
Tickets, please. Thank you.
It's worse than I thought.
What is it?
The guard. He's a Cyberman.
A what?
A Cyberman. One of my oldest and deadliest foes. A dangerous living machine. They're up there with the Daleks.
The what?
Something's not quite right. He seems to be a hybrid of some sort. And what's he doing here in 1945?
These Cybermen, they are a German vengeance weapon?
The Cyberman. He's down this way. The guard's not in this cabin. The guard is in the guard's van.
Dylan, watch the door, make sure no one comes in.
Seems the guard's moved beyond the guard's van.
I can see him checking tickets in the next carriage.
What is that?
It's a mini cyber conversion unit.
A converter that transforms humans into Cybermen?
Seems it was left here in the guard's van, and when he got close enough, it implanted enough cybernetic implants to take over his body.
Do the Germans usually attack in this way?
Oh, it's unlikely to be German.
Well then perhaps Japanese. Well, that's also unlikely. How could they get it over to England? We should get help. We should pull the emergency cord and stop the train.
I'll pull the cord. Just say when, Doctor.
Does it have an anti-tampering device like some of the bombs the Germans got? Designed to kill bomb disposal men?
We need to deal with this before we deal with the guard. Because if we just pull the chain, we'll just track the guard here before I want him here.
Fascinating. There is a mechanism for the arm. I can jam it if I had a stick.
Would this do?
That'll do nicely, my dear.
I need you to hold this piece as flat as you can. Just put a bit of pressure there and there. Don't let go, whatever you do.
I will not.
The guard is moving forward in a hurry.
Can you delay him while me and Alan work on this, please? As far as I can tell, he's not armed.
Fine, I'll do what I can.
I'll help you.
Guard, can you help me with my ticket? Whoa!
Dylan, do something!
Hey, Cyberman, I've got it. If I told you that everything I have ever said was a lie, would I be telling the truth? Can you compute that? Yes! In sliding's problem!
Is everything okay out there?
Dylan did it! The Cyberman's been defeated! Have no fear, Dylan. I'll save you!
Thanks, Isabella?
Brilliant. Thank you, Alan. Cyber converter deactivated.
Doctor, I have signed the official Secrets Act, so the events of this day shall remain a secret. I promise.
The purely theoretical sliding problem actually came in use when it came to defeating the Cyberman. I managed to get it stuck in a circular programming loop.
I'm delighted that my work inspired you, young man.
So, Alan, how do you feel now that the war is going so well?
Well, the German V2 attacks continue to hit London. No one knows what else they may be capable of.
Alan, thank you for everything you've done today. I won't ever forget you. Right, I think it's time we move on to 1951.
1951, why, what happened then?
It was at the age 39 that Alan Turing switched to mathematical biology, and that is when he wrote his masterpiece, The Chemical Basis of Morphogenesis. And it was thanks to that paper that people would eventually go on to work out the role and structure of DNA within the human body. He was a genius.
Doctor, are you sure we're in the right place? It just seems like a random town.
Yeah, like, I was expecting some sort of government building or university, but not this.
You're right, this is a little bit strange. I didn't set the coordinates for here, wherever here is.
Oh, please tell me you know how to fly your own ship. I'd like some reassurance when I'm travelling with you I can at least, get home.
Damn it, Dylan, I can get you home anytime I like.
Doctor! Dylan! Take a look at this.
Wait. He died? But why?
Well, Dylan, there's a lot of speculation around it, but most people say he killed himself. Probably because of the persecution he faced over his sexuality.
I mean, he did all these amazing things, and yet... I mean, he helped us win the war, and in the end he was betrayed by the very people he was protecting.
In years to come, people would learn to remember him for his achievements. In fact, in the early 2000s, they erected many statues of him. In fact, in 2013, my second favourite queen actually pardoned him as well.
He did all these amazing things, and he probably in the end felt like he was nothing.
You okay, isn't it?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go back to the TARDIS. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's just seeing what he went through.
There's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
Do you
You guys know if we ever found out where that converter came from?
Maybe it teleported by accident.
I know, it could have come from some kind of Cyberman incursion near Earth space-time. Possibly the Battle of Canary Wharf or something like that.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've just, been thinking a lot recently about, us travelling with the Doctor and everything.
Why are you not enjoying it?
No, don't get me wrong, I am. It's just, after several months of searching for Elaine, that's the reason I came along with you guys. I'm starting to worry like I'm never going to see her again.
I understand. But, maybe she's looking for you. One day, your paths might just cross.
Maybe.